what's the difference between these everyday addictions, these
Uh-huh.
behaviors that are unhelpful, and a real addiction, and what are the things that you do with patients that come to you to help them through those everyday issues?
So usually once someone reaches my office, we're going after the pain. As far as where a lot of other people are that don't reach the point of needing treatment, where you're just on your phone too much. I think a lot of it is being able to really communicate, with the people around you, what you're experiencing. So forget calling it addiction, forget naming it anything in particular, but just talking about it in regular terms. So, and we could go through this really with any example, but say you don't have any huge pain in life, but you're sitting at notice that like every time at dinner you're looking down at your phone and not your partner. Simply just being able to talk about that and include in that the full context. So some of the things, and that's why I like doing this, is just educating people, being able to talk with a partner about like, geez, I can't seem to unglue this phone, and I keep looking at being able to talk about that together, being able to talk about what's this doing to our relationship, and being able to discuss it in very regular terms, so that it's not just like this boogeyman that takes you over, because that we have no control or mastery over. Is when something is taking some control of us and we don't even see it happening, we don't recognize it, we don't know how it's working, we don't know how it's operating. That's boogeyman territory, right? We're afraid of ghosts because you can't punch them, you can't shoot them, you don't know when they're going to be there. That's when we get scared. That's when we don't have control. But when we know our enemy and we know it well, that's how we zero in and we can actually defeat the enemy. In this case, it's our own mind. That's the messed up part. It's our own mind that's hurting us. Our own mind shooting dopamine into our system as we look down at this phone and look at the next feed and the next click and the next click. So understanding the layers of how our mind is being manipulated, as you peel those back, you get to gain mastery. So understanding that there is clickbait, first of all, right? That makes you want to keep clicking. Understanding that shoots dopamine into your system. Understanding that when you do that, it's going to make that feel more rewarding and important than another conversation with someone that doesn't necessarily lead to this intense, immediate boost to your mood. And so understanding all these layers and being able to talk about it, shame and guilt free. And when I say talk, it could be in your own mind too. We have conversations in our own heads all the time, of course. And often either we shame ourselves or other people shame us for, quit looking at the phone so much, or we shame ourselves. Why can't I just exercise or do some, constructive reading instead of, I just got lost for 2 hours going down that rabbit hole. And that doesn't help. We need to always treat ourselves kindly or have other people treat us kindly and really understand how we're being controlled and work through that in the most non-judgmental fashion possible.
Dr. Hochman, is there anything that you would also add to the end of the conversation that we can leave our viewers with?
Really just to cap off what we're saying and maybe just summarize that, which is, we all have an addiction circuit. We all love escaping the mundane or difficult parts of life, and that's really normal. And if you're suffering in any way, mild or severely, with a hard substance and you're losing your life or just using your phone too much, just being kind to yourself and understanding we all do this to some degree, and being able to just work through that and follow that pain so that there's less to escape. The less you have to escape, the easier it is to be healthy. Very hard to be healthy when it's all uphill. If you put me through hard day after hard day, I'm going to break at some point.
Sure.
And we can't treat ourselves so cruelly, expecting that anybody has got the discipline or intelligence or tolerance, for that much difficulty. And so that's the main message really I'd like to leave people with, is be kind to yourself and work through it. and try and remove that pain.
Dr. Hochman, thank you so much for being an amazing guest. You've offered incredibly good information to our viewers, and I am sure that people who watch this later will really be satisfied with the information you've offered. And I look forward to having you back because there's so much here to unpack, and you've offered a really sound way to approach it. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for your time. This has been Women's Health Weekly with the experts from Maiden Lane Medical and their guests from across the country, where you get expert information without having to go out into the Google sphere.